was just scared. I was so scared. But I was begging my mom. I was like, Mom, I want you to go with me. I want you to go with me. When you're in a position like that and you're just scared, like the first thing most people think of is their mom. They want their mom. And that's what was going through my head. Like, I was just scared. And I have extremely bad anxiety. And so does my mom. But, so she knew what I was going through. And, I didn't know it at the time, but that really upset Sid because he wanted to be there, obviously. And, I ended up saying, never mind, I want Sid to be back there. So we agreed Sid was going to go back there. And by the way, that's the best decision I ever made. I had a catheter in and all this, so that was very uncomfortable. That was the first time I ever had a catheter. And they were trying to get me to sit on the bed. And, I could not, sit up on my own and stuff. I was in so much pain. And, I had all these wires and tubes and stuff all over me, and this catheter, and it just felt like if I moved, the catheter was going to fall out, and that's just what it felt like. So I was afraid to move. They're trying to have me, because on the section of the bed, on a certain section of the bed, and because the anesthesiologist, she was really, really short, and so they were trying to get me on a certain part of the bed that kind of went flat, because I had to have a special bed because I'm big. And anyway, so they raised it up. I had my legs dangling off, and I had to be so still, I could not move. And at first, they poked me with lidocaine, which is a numbing agent. So I felt that. It felt like a freaking, I don't know, it just felt like a fire ant stinging my back. And it didn't really work. I could still feel that area where she poked me. So she did it again. She ended up doing it 5 times, give me lidocaine, and it still didn't freaking work very well. Anyway, so I didn't look at the needle or anything like that. I just was paying attention because my mom was holding me. And I remember I was holding on to my mom, and the anesthesiologist said, tell me if you feel anything, if you feel a pinch or anything, either you say left or right or center, wherever you feel it. And so I'm assuming she was putting the needle in, and when she's putting it in, it hurt so bad, but you have so much going on in your mind. In your mind, you kind of think, oh my God, if I move, I could get paralyzed, So a lot of that pain was turned into you had adrenaline going and stuff like that. So the pain, you could feel it, but not really. It's kind of like muffled pain, if that makes any sense. And I kept telling her, I was like, right, left, right, because when she would go in with it, I could hear it, I could feel it, I guess because it was going into my spine and my back and all that. It just felt and it sounded like little pops, like that, little pops. And she could not get it in the right position, and she kept having to take it out and try it again, take it out, try again. I think she did it 3 different times, and then finally on the 4th one she was able to get it in. And I just remember laying there after she got it in, and my body from my chest down was going numb. I've never felt this before. It just felt like it was asleep. So they said, okay, you ready? We went back. I just remember the room being super, super white, the operating room. It was super white. Once I got in there, the anesthesiologist came. She talked to me. She reassured me everything was going to be okay. They put up a curtain thing. And then, like, I kept saying, where's Sid? Where's Sid? Where's Sid? Where's my fiance? Where's my fiance? Because he wasn't in there yet. And they were like, he's getting changed, but he'll be in here. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're not going to get the baby until he's in here. And a few minutes later, here he comes, walking in. He's all full of scrubs. He looked silly. I just remember him looking silly. And then, but at that moment, I was so happy to see him, like, because I was like, oh my God, okay, if something happens, he's right here by me. And, you know, the saddest part is, not a lot of people talk about this, but before I went back, because Sid's family lives in Arkansas, and our family lives in Texas, or my family, and I had to tell my mom, if something happens to me while I'm back there, you let Sid take the baby to Arkansas, you know, or wherever he wants to go with the baby. He can take her. You know, don't try to fight him on it. You know, don't be mad at him about it. Because, you know, that's where he would get the best help with his family, you know, being with them. But, you know, a lot of people don't say that. And I was telling my mom, you know, my last wishes, because you never know what will happen. But anyway, I'm sorry I'm so emotional. But all these feelings are coming back that I felt. But anyway. So, the anesthesiologist was all like, you can't feel nothing, right? And I was like, no. And they started cutting me, and they're like, can you feel anything? I was like, no. They cut me right above my belly button in a vertical line, about 5 inches, I would say, like 5 to 6 inches. And it had been like 2 days since I was able to eat anything. And when they were cutting me, they were doing it with like a hot thing. So they could cauterize it as well while cutting. And I was like, oh my God, babe, it smells like bacon. That smells so good. And he's like, that's disgusting. That's your flesh burning. But anyway, I know that's so gross, but it's what happened. You know, I was on kind of like, you know, some feel-good drugs. So, I mean, I wasn't all there, kind of. And, anyway, it felt like it took so fast for everything to happen. But I just remember laying there, and I could feel tugging. Like, I couldn't feel pain or anything. I could just feel tugging. And they finally got the baby out. She wasn't crying. She didn't cry at all. And I just kept saying, is the baby okay? Is the baby okay? Nobody would tell me anything. I was just wanting to know if my baby girl was okay. And, probably like, I don't know how long it was, but it had to be seconds. I'm not sure. But, they were probably like 10 feet away. And, they just said, look at your baby girl. And I got to look over. And I just got to see her for like literally 5 seconds. And then they rushed her away. And she never cried. And I was crying. I remember crying. Because I didn't know if she was alive. I didn't know what was going on. The anesthesiologist was telling me just to calm down. Calm down, everything's fine. And then, they started sewing me up and stuff. And, once they started stitching her up, or stapling up, you know, closer to the skin, I started feeling it, and I was trying to tell the anesthesiologist, but she wasn't hearing me. So the last few staples and stuff I did feel. So yeah, because the medicine was like wearing off. Like, she didn't keep giving me anymore since it was over. But anyway, after that, they put me on a regular bed because they had to move me over from the operating bed to a regular bed, and they put me in recovery, and I still didn't know anything about the baby. Sid had to go away. He went to check on the baby, and I just kept wanting to know, is the baby okay? Is the baby okay? Is she alive? Did she cry? Did she cry? That's all I was asking. And I was in the recovery room, and a few minutes later, I don't even remember who came in first. I think my mom. And I was like, where's Sid? And he was with the baby, and they didn't know what was wrong or what was going on yet. And then finally Sid came. He said that she's beautiful and that she's okay. She was okay. He said they have her on a breathing machine because she wasn't breathing on her own well. And they had her hooked up to all these monitors and tubes and stuff. And I just wanted to go see her. I wanted to go see her so bad. But after being in the recovery room for a little bit, Sid didn't want to show me pictures of Michelle at the time because it looked scary. She had like a huge tube down her throat and stuff like this. And I think it was like 2 hours later or something after recovery, I was able to go to a room, and I wasn't able to see her because she was in the NICU. And they said once I heal up and once I can walk around, once I start walking, then I can go see her. And it wasn't until the next day, on October 6th, I think it was at nighttime, because she was born October 5th at 2:51 p.m. and it wasn't till the 6th at night that I got to go see her. I was damn determined to get up and start walking because I wanted to see my baby girl. And so it hurt so bad when I got up. It felt like I was gonna rip open and just my guts were gonna go everywhere. I know that's gross, but that's what it felt like. And I'm so sorry, I'm so emotional. But anyway, I walked the amount that they wanted me to walk, and then I got to get in a wheelchair and I got to go see her. And when I saw her, I was expecting her to have all these tubes and everything. She didn't have none of that. She just had I think she just had a feeding tube in her nose, I think. And she just had oxygen. And when I got in there, they were like, she's breathing on her own. She's doing great. It doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her besides her being so little, because she was born at 33 weeks. She weighed 4 pounds, 9 ounces. And aside from being little, she was breathing on her own. Her heart was good. Her lungs were good. I was so happy. And then once I held her, I have pictures of it. Once I held her, Sid told me, "You're the first one who has got to hold her." He made sure that nobody else besides the doctors held her until I got to hold her. That was so special. Hold on. Okay, sorry. That was so special what he did, and I'll never forget that. But before I got to go see her, I recorded her a message. But that's what happened. She stayed in the NICU until November 12th. So from October 5th to November 12th, she was in the NICU. She was having trouble eating. Like, she loved eating. She wanted to eat, but she would reflux and stop breathing. So that's the reason why she had to stay in the NICU so long. But I will talk about that in another video. I'm sorry this video was so long, and I'm sorry I was so emotional, but these feelings all came back. But that is my experience with pregnancy and giving birth and the things that went on. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned right after this, because I think I'm going to put that video in here. If you don't see the video, then it just means I didn't feel comfortable putting it. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, little girl. So today is October 6th, 2017. You are a day old. I'm just really happy. I never thought I'd have a baby of my own. And you look so cute. I haven't got to hold you yet. But hopefully I can get the strength up tonight and go hold you. Whew, I'm in a lot of pain. You put me through a lot, little girl. But I love you a lot. I can't wait to hold you and to see you. Just looking at pictures of you. How cute you look with your little like red hair. You look like your grandma kinda with the red hair. You look just like your daddy. I love you, baby girl.